we're back. It's Citrus County Live. Ryan Downs, visibly excited today because after weeks of quarantines and being forced to do the phone interviews, we have an honest-to-God human guest here in the studios today. He has 165-plus employees. If there's a kid drinking milk, a student in the state of Florida, there's a 50-50 shot. It's his milk. It has the Buffy Cool Cow on the outside. Dale McClellan of M&B Dairy. Thank you for joining us, Dale.
Thank you for having me, Ryan.
Yeah. So you were heading back from the fish camp. We were supposed to have a phone call, but you figured you were close enough, so you'd swing on by. We have 6 feet in between us, so I think we're a good safe distance, right?
Yeah, we got the good 6 foot going on, so we are practicing what we preach.
All right. How's things going at the fish camp? First of all, I'd like to...
Things at fish camp are going very well. We've had a opportunity of teaching each other to not shake hands and don't bump elbows and don't hug the women and that sort of thing, because it is a nice family environment. But we've been having to force ourselves, and we've been successful of saying, hey, a month from now, maybe I'll hug you.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, I think we're all looking forward to that human contact again. It's been a rough month so far. It
feels awkward. You feel disrespectful in a way.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I wanted to get to it, though. We've seen you very vocal on social media over the past couple weeks, and I think with great cause. I'm seeing these viral videos of dairy farmers being forced to dump out their product. And is that heartbreaking for you to watch?
It is heartbreaking to watch. We actually dumped a tank at our farm the other day. I know a dairy farmer that dumped 22 loads on his farm yesterday, so that's 22 times 6,000 gallons.
Wow, yeah. So what's the deal? Why is this happening in short?
So the coronavirus is the largest part of it. But what's made it so bad is sometimes school's out. That's a little bit tough. Sometimes other things happen, but what's happening right now is almost every restaurant is closed or doing a very low volume. Mm-hmm. All amusement parks in Florida are closed. Many hotels are down to a minimum of people, and there's just not a lot of places for milk to be consumed except home. There is a little bit of the bag programs that every county is trying to do for the kids, but the supermarkets are not working hard enough, in my opinion at least, to see that the shelves remain full. We have an overabundant supply of raw milk, and the supermarkets still have signs up that say limited to 1 gallon or 2 gallons because they're not reacting quickly enough. It's very disheartening in the state of Florida to see some of the supermarkets, some of them originated right here in Florida, that have taken such a lackadaisical approach to trying to help us farmers. We need them to get busy. We've already lost millions collectively. And so if they could just get busy and take up part of the slack, it would be good. It will not make up for all of it. A lot of this is the hotels, the restaurants, the schools being out, etc., the amusement parks. But the stores could do a much better job of having product in-house.
Yeah, I think I read a sentence on that kind of summed it up. The lack of demand from the food industry is simply overshadowing the increase of demand at the local stores. Because when you go to the stores, you'll see the shelves. There's not like milk is one of the things missing. We're seeing eggs not being there. I mean, along with, I think toilet paper took the starring role in this.
Well, with milk, let's compare that to toilet paper. Not really, but toilet paper lasts for years. You're only allowed to keep raw milk on a tanker for 72 hours. When you fill it up at a farm, it has to be somewhere unloaded within 72 hours. That's not true with any other commodity, to my knowledge. Eggs have a very long shelf life. Dry goods, paper goods, bread, has a long shelf life. So we have a significant challenge. And as an example, on a normal year, somebody asked me earlier on Facebook, what percentage that schools played into this. And schools play a pretty large role, but when school normally goes out, it normally is about the time it's getting super hot in Florida, so cows consume less feed and give less milk. So they work somewhat hand in hand, not exactly, but they go down together. And so it's sort of natural. When something goes on like this, none of us has ever been through it, and I hope we never go through it again. But I'll give you an example of something that none of us anticipated. Nobody. We make milk for schools. Most of the milk that we do, when I say schools, I'm talking about these bag programs where they're still feeding kids. We sell some of the prison system skim milk. The senior services use normally 1% milk. So we're taking milk that's usually 3.5% butterfat. We're moving part of the fat, and we normally pasteurize that and sell it to an eager market to have our cream. Since all these places are closed, you can't move cream. It's very difficult to get rid of. Butter plants up north are stuffed. Powder plants, where milk typically goes when Florida has a little bit of an overage, we send it to cheese, powder, butter, and things of that, plants like that, what we call secondary markets. They're all stuffed, and they can't take more because it's not moving out of their inventory. So they have a problem with those items as well.
All right, and I'm seeing, it seems like the community kind of has your back based on just solely what we're seeing on social media. People are sharing what you have to say. I'm seeing a lot of that. They're commenting. If someone was interested in helping the industry as a whole out, how could we play a small role in that?
Well, I think complaining to supermarkets, and okay. I don't mean go up and be mean to the manager, the bag boy, or what have you. I'm talking about, hey, sir, I have a legitimate complaint. Ma'am, I have a legitimate thing here. I've seen all this stuff in social media, and the biggest grocery store chain in Florida has its own milk plant. It could do more. It could get more involved. So just say something to the folks about it. Don't make them angry or hurt their feelings, because they might take it out on us. What we need to do is for them to sincerely realize how serious it is and put it in gear. And I want to say something, if you'll give me a second. A lot of the stuff you've seen on social media has been focused on Publix. I'll come right out and tell you that Publix is one of the best companies in Florida. It is the best grocery company in Florida. My wife and I shop at Publix. We're proud to do so. We're happy to be there. I'm mad with Publix about their slow reaction to helping take care of part of this abundance of milk, but I'm not mad at Publix as a company. I support Publix. I want Publix to support me, though. Okay,
so we need to politely speak up, raise our concerns respectfully. And, I mean, that's just the start. I know there's some other events, and, I talked to the CEO of the Chamber of Commerce, Josh Wooten, the other day, and we were talking about how innovative companies are finding different ways to keep the cash flow coming in, keep paying their employees. And there's a lot of really smart ideas we're seeing statewide, nationwide, and locally as well. Cane's Cattle Co. is one of those companies. They switched to, they're selling meat now. You can place your orders for meat directly from Cane's, but in addition to that, you guys have actually worked a deal to move some of your product as well.
So it's funny that you brought this up. What you just said is exactly true, but a guy like me works his whole life to have his children, his employees and everybody take the bull by the horns and do stuff. The first time I seen that Cane's was going to have our milk was on Facebook, and I started calling the family, who's doing milk at Cane's, and then I finally found out that Morgan had texted my daughter-in-law Andrea in Tampa and worked out a deal, and that feels like it's going to be a good thing. Talk about the dairy industry as a whole for a minute. M&B is just one dairy farm in Florida, and there are a lot of dairy farms in Florida. I think there's about 79 or 80. Some of them are very large, some of them are smaller, like ours. But if people start going someplace and buying our milk that they could buy at Publix, they haven't helped the matter as a whole. And please don't misunderstand. I want people to buy our milk from Cane's, but what I just said was if you're taking it out of one store and putting it in another store, it's a push. What we need are lost sales to be recaptured. We need every person that wants milk to have it, and we're willing to go to Cane's, and Cane's is willing to work with us to try to fill a void, just like they did with the meat. They didn't go out and sell this meat, I don't think, at least because they wanted to sell meat. They had friends and neighbors that couldn't get meat at stores. Yeah. And so they got involved and they found a solution. And Morgan is a solutions person, and she's helping us with this.
Yeah. Again, I can't give enough respect, and she's just doing a great job
She
over
is.
there in some of those moves. But to get back to it, I know I do want to plug this for really quick. It looks like deadline to order Wednesday 9 a.m. Pickup is going to be on Thursday between 11 and 7. So
That's correct.
Yeah, so just to give a shout out to Kane's Cattle Co. over there. I know she has a lot of employees. Dale, I know you have a lot of employees. Between the dairy farm here in Tampa, 160 plus?
160 plus.
Yeah, so I imagine this is stressful for us. We're a small company here. We have a few employees. To have that many, what is that like, having that many people depend on you in this kind of time?
It's quite stressful, but somehow, by the grace of God, I've been able to say, you know what, we're going to muddle through this together. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to do it. We're going to not lay off one employee.
All right.
And we're going to put in an application for the payroll protection program so that we have some money to help back up what I just said. But our employees are very important. They're well trained. And if and when school does start back, I'm going to need every one of them. So we want to be committed to our employees so that hopefully they are committed to us when we start filling that pipeline back up.
Hey, speaking of the schools really quick too, I did want to ask you, because I'm seeing a lot of our friends online, they're posting that they're going to the schools and doing the pickup of the milk. Is that important that goes out still, or that's going to get spoiled? The milk from the schools and the lunch for those that have the assisted lunch program?
So I think what you just asked me was, is it important that milk moves? We have to package milk as it's ordered or as we anticipate it's going to be ordered. So we do our best to keep it closely synchronized so that we don't have milk getting old code days. I got to tell you one thing, Brian. There has been some negativity in the media by people that don't understand. Maybe they do understand, they just want to be negative. I don't know. But within the industry of milk, if I wanted to give milk away, I have to pay for my milk. And that seems bizarre to people, but M&B Dairy here in Lecanto is part of the milk pool in the state of Florida, and the federal government does not allow us to just send a tanker of milk somewhere for free. You can give it away for animal consumption, hogs and stuff like that, but we are not allowed to package milk. As an example, I could probably package milk for 8 cents a half pint if we didn't pay anything for the milk. But we're not allowed to do that. By law, we have to pay for that milk even if it's ours. We cannot say, I'm giving this milk away.
Wow, okay.
So naysayers, the few of you that were out there, please understand, this is not M&B being greedy. This is M&B out fighting for a methodology of getting milk to a home that needs it and can't afford it.
All right. I know you're a busy guy, Dale. Anything before we let you go?
No, except thank you for trying to be part of the solution. So many people out there are being helpful, not just in Citrus County, all over the state of Florida. I've talked to ladies today that were delivering milk in their spare time to schools in Okeechobee, and there's just so many good people in the state of Florida. And one good thing I meant to say was, one good thing about problems like this is you can find good people.
Yeah. You see the good people step forward. The leaders often emerge in times like these. I want to give a real quick shout to Bush Home Services out of Homosassa. It was a small deed. We saw this online. One of their employees got a call from an elderly couple that needed some service, and they somehow got on the topic they didn't want to go to the store because they're elderly, they're susceptible to to corona, and the employee there at Bush actually went to the store for them, brought food to their house just on her own time. So I did want to give a shout out to Carol, I think her name is. Darn it. So I did want to give a shout out to Bush Home Services, though. Great employees, and it was cool of them to post that story. What I want to ask, Citrus County, we're a production company here, Digital Hound Media. We produce for Citrus County Live. What we would like to do by the time this is said and done is see the silver lining and put together a small documentary about those good people you're talking about, Dale. They're stepping up right now and really helping this economy keep chugging along. There's a lot of good people that are really struggling right now. So if you would let us know of a story of someone doing something like that, it could be small, it could be a huge deed. We would love to cover it and include this once this is said and done in this little project that we're working on. So if you see something that is worth mentioning and worth we're just looking for positive things in this time of darkness right now, I think is what we're looking for.
Can I give you one?
Sure, I'd love to hear it.
It might make you cry because it did me the other day.
Okay.
When we were dumping the milk at our farm, we dumped part of it, and the milk tank driver had to get a sample of the milk so that he could verify the quality of it, etc. And so we had to stop dumping it for a few minutes. Later, when we resumed dumping the milk, one of the ladies that milks cows for us, a very nice long-time employee, started crying. She walked in and started crying and returned her paycheck to Leon because she felt bad for our family.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
Wow.
It was amazing. Leon called me on the phone. I think he was touched. I'm touched right now telling the story. But there's people out there that care about their employers and care about their job, and she's one of them.
Yeah, people like that. That's exactly what we're talking about. So please comment below. Let us know your story, your friend's story, your neighbor's story. We'd love to include it. Dale McClellan, M&B Dairy, we appreciate you stopping by and seeing us.
Yes, sir. Instead of got milk with a question mark, we got milk with a period.
I think exclamation at this point.
Exclamation. There you go. Thank you, Ryan.
All right. We are Citrus County Live.